Have you ever looked at your dog and felt something shifting deep in your chest? Something you can't quite name but can't ignore? You already know something has shifted. In your dog's breathing, their appetite, or just a quiet feeling you can't shake. What if those small changes you've been noticing aren't just aging, but the beginning of the most important goodbye of your life? When your dog begins disappearing into corners you've never seen them use before, the space under the guest bed, the cool tile behind the washing machine, that spot in the closet where winter coats hang, they're not pulling away from you. They're responding to what their body is telling them, that the world has become too much. This isn't the normal afternoon nap in their favorite sunny spot. This is different. As dogs approach the end of life, their bodies begin to shut down gradually, and the first thing that changes is their relationship with stimulation itself. The doorbell that used to send them running now feels too sharp. The family conversation in the kitchen feels too loud. Even your gentle touch, which they've craved for years, can suddenly feel like too much input for a system that's learning to conserve every bit of energy it has left. When you find them in these quiet spaces, don't coax them back to the living room. Go to them. Sit nearby without speaking. Let your presence be the softest possible version of connection. No expectations, no energy required from them. Just the comfort of knowing you're close. The second shift happens at the food bowl, and it's often the one that breaks our hearts first. Your food-motivated companion, the one who's never missed a meal in 12 years, suddenly turns away from their kibble with a look that seems to say, "I'm sorry, but I just can't." This isn't the picky eating of a spoiled dog or the temporary loss of appetite that comes with a stomach bug. This is something deeper. When a dog stops eating, their body is making a calculation you can't see. Digestion requires energy, and energy has become precious. Pain, nausea, or dehydration can all play a role, but sometimes it's simpler than that. Sometimes the body is just saying, "Not this anymore." If they'll still take a piece of chicken from your hand or they perk up for a spoonful of ice cream, follow that lead. This is not the time for perfect nutrition. This is the time for whatever brings them a moment of pleasure, whatever keeps them connected to the simple joy of taste and the ritual of sharing food with you. The third change is one of the most emotionally devastating because it happens in a place where love has always lived, their eyes. The bright, eager spark that has greeted you for years begins to dim, not all at once, but gradually, like a sunset you can't stop watching. Your dog's eyes may develop a bluish, cloudy appearance as they age, a normal change that affects the lens. But beyond the physical cloudiness, there's something deeper happening. The way they look at the world shifts into something quieter, more distant. They still see you, still love you, but their gaze carries a new quality, as if they're looking past the immediate moment into something you can't see. You'll notice it in small moments. The quick, bright recognition when you walk into the room becomes softer, more contemplative. They may stare out windows longer than usual, or rest their chin and simply watch you with an intensity that feels different. It's not sadness. It's something closer to a peaceful acceptance that their world is changing. The fourth pattern can feel like emotional whiplash, and it's one of the most confusing aspects of this transition, the shift between clinginess and withdrawal. For days or weeks, your dog may become your shadow, following you from room to room, resting their head on your foot, whining softly when you leave their sight. Some dogs seek out the comfort and company of their humans to the point of clinginess, as if they're instinctively stockpiling time with you because some part of them senses that these hours are becoming precious. Then, sometimes abruptly, they flip. Your dog becomes more solitary and seeks quiet corners to be alone. They find a spot under the stairs, behind the couch, somewhere they can rest undisturbed. This isn't rejection, it's an ancient instinct. In wild canine populations, dying members would sometimes separate from the pack to protect the group and spend their final moments in peace. If you see this pattern, honor both phases. Give them all the closeness they ask for when they're clingy. Respect the quiet when they need space. Both are expressions of love in the language they know best. Have you seen that shift from your dog following you everywhere to suddenly seeking quiet corners, maybe under your guest bed or behind the washing machine? Comment your answer below. Now let's look at the fifth sign, which affects something most owners never think to monitor. The fifth sign is one you might never think to monitor, but it reveals everything about what's happening inside your dog's body, the way they move through space itself. Between the loss of muscle mass and the malfunction of proprioceptive nerves, coordination will decline. Proprioception, the ability to tell where the limbs are in space, may not mean much to you until your dog starts walking oddly. Watch for the subtle stumbles first. Your dog may stumble or have trouble placing